Sophie Hall is a bright representative of the body positive movement, a popular blogger and a sought-after plus-size model. Sophie has 1,700,000 followers in social networks. According to her frequent publications, one can understand that the girl loves her shapes, is proud of herself, and is not shy to show her cellulite and voluminous forms. Sophie Eloise claims that she works out in the gym and torments her body with diets, but the result says otherwise. Let's try to understand why. Eloise squats with a 55 kilograms barbell, which is a good weight for a girl with a body weight of 55 kilograms. But with her 95 kilograms, it is a very light load. It's obvious that she's not working out in training. The same impression arises when watching the video. You can see that she works at only half of the possible reps. That is, she stops long before failure. The blue-eyed blonde has a sister, Abigail, who has become Sophie's main motivation and incentive. Both girls are models, only the figures of the sisters differ dramatically. Slender Abigail and since childhood lush Sophie became for each other real competitors. Rivalry between the sisters has always been, so it is very difficult to judge their relationship with each other now. At first, they competed in who was better at school. Then Abigail was taken in rhythmic gymnastics, and Sophie refused because of the overweight physique. This led to the fact that the future model sat on a diet and began to run, but it did not bring any results. A constant feeling of hunger and fatigue developed in Sophie's aversion to diets and sports for life. Apparently, it was then that Sophie developed the habit of underworking in the approaches by 50% and eating well after training. It is in this case that jogging leads to fiasco and even more obesity. From time to time, Sophie can still squat with a heavy weight, about 100 to 110 kilograms. Apparently, this is the secret of her relatively high density and good shape of her body, despite the extra weight. Looking at her, you can put her as an example for girls who can train but can't keep a diet. If she didn't work out with such heavy weights, those fat deposits would just start hanging down and wouldn't look so appetizing anymore. Sophie was born on the 4th of December 1989. Despite the fact that the girl was born in the UK, she grew up in sunny Florida, USA, and considers this place her home. After school, Abigail was accepted into a modeling agency, and Sophie was again rejected for the same reasons. But her desire to be a model made her find an agency in Florida working only with big girls. At that time, plus size was not popular, so the girls received very modest money for their work and were actually not known. After a while, everything changed. Today, the fashion world has accepted lush models, and Sophie Hall has taken her rightful place in it. She is in demand in the profession. Big brands work with her. She is invited to TV shows. She is loved by her audience and receives words of admiration from her. As Sophie herself says, even as a plus-size model, she still watches her diet and does sports. In her social networks, you can find photos and videos of her working out in the gym. Mostly it's working with a barbell and exercises on exercise machines. It is important for her to work on her waist and buttocks to keep spectacular curves. She also watches her diet so that her weight doesn't increase. Nevertheless, if you follow the information about the parameters of her figure, her volumes and weight are gradually increasing. Anyway, Sophie Hall has a very pleasant and attractive appearance. And if you look closely at the photos in her social network, you can notice the difference between some of the pictures. And here the matter is either in a well-chosen angle, light and clothes, or in Photoshop and corrective underwear.